If you are pregnant or you've recently had a baby, this podcast is for you. I am your host, Kath Bequee, a physiotherapist working in women's health and mum of three. Inside my online program, Fitness Mama, I just love helping support women to care for their bodies during pregnancy, prepare their bodies for birth, and support their after-birth recovery, helping them feel confident and strong inside out during this important stage of their lives. In this podcast, join me each week as we dive into all things pregnancy care, childbirth, and postnatal recovery, helping you through every step of the journey. It is absolutely possible to feel amazing and confident in our bodies during this motherhood journey, and I want that for you. Come and say hi to me on Instagram @fitnessmama, and let's dive into today's episode. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Fitness Mama podcast. So today's episode is a bit different to normal. It's a bit different to normal, and the reason I'm sharing it is because it's actually really interesting. So this week, at the time of recording, it is early February. My children have just gone to school and I've had 6 weeks where I have been missing in action a bit. Not missing in action, but I've been with my children. They've been on school holidays. We've been making memories. It's been amazing. And now that they're back at school, I'm thinking, right, I am so ready to get my teeth into helping to support you all during pregnancy and postpartum. So what I did was sent out an email survey to everyone on my mailing list. If you would like to do this survey, click the link below and it will take you to it. And the reason I did this survey was because Fitness Mama is approaching 3 years old. So for 3 years, I've been helping you during your pregnancy and postpartum. But the truth is I don't feel I've had a good understanding in the last 6 to 12 months of where you're all at. So, for example, if you've been on my mailing list for 3 years, are you still interested in pregnancy information? Or are you actually wanting support to help you in your 40s and approaching your 50s and helping with your pelvic health approaching menopause? Or are you onto your second pregnancy, third pregnancy, whatever it might be? So I wanted to get an idea of where you're all at in terms of pregnancy and postpartum. Are you early pregnancy or were you years and years down the track? Secondly, because we're in 2023 at the time of recording, I was excited to look into organising some more in-person events. So whether or not that's in-person Pilates classes or an in-person retreat of some sort, like retreat for pregnancy or a retreat for general wellness, or in-person preparing for labour workshops. So this is what I've had in the back of my mind, like what should I organise in the next 6 to 12 months moving forwards? And this is why I wanted to survey you all to find out where you're at and to see how I can best support you. So Fitness Mama, my main online membership will always be my number one. This is where I help you with online workouts during pregnancy and postpartum. I help you to care for your pelvic floor during this crucial stage of motherhood. I help you to recover after having a baby so that you feel strong again. You can get back to CrossFit, the gym, running, whatever it might be for you. So Fitness Mama, my online membership, where you can join up month by month, no commitment, or you can join for longer and get a great savings. That will always be my main offering. But moving into 2023, I wanted to see how else I could support you during your motherhood. So that's why I sent out the survey. So once again, click the link below. It's really quick, like 1 minute survey, only 3 or 4 questions. That's it. And I would love to hear from you because you're listening. So congratulations. I'm assuming that means you're pregnant or you've recently had a baby. So welcome to the podcast. If this is your first episode, this is definitely not my normal episode. Okay, so this survey has been amazing. It's been a bit surprising, which I'll share why, but it's also helped me to work out who I need to get onto the podcast to support you, who I need to get into the membership to help support you. So if it's not my area of expertise, that's when I outsource. So anything regarding obviously breastfeeding, conceiving, fertility, diet, nutrition, this is where I bring in amazing people either onto the podcast or into my membership. Okay, so let me quickly tell you the results of the survey so far because it's really interesting, and I do realise I have made a bit of a mistake over the last 6 to 12 months, and I'll explain why. So it seems that half of you on my mailing list are either pregnant at some stage of pregnancy or postpartum. So whether or not you're early postpartum or a couple of years down the track. So that's great. I hoped it might be around those stats, 50-50. It seems that about half of you are from Australia and half are from other places around the world. So 50-50. Now, I asked the question, what interests you? The biggest responses, about 40% of you are interested in preparing for labour workshops in person. So this is where I would talk you through. And just before I go on, I do have this online. So if this sounds interesting and you haven't done my online workshop, click the link below. There will be a link to it, and definitely come along. But in person, we could go through ways to help prepare the pelvic floor for birth. We could go through active birth techniques, relaxation techniques, pushing techniques for birth, and we could talk about after-birth recovery. So many beautiful things we could do in person. We could talk about how your partner can support you during this process too. So 40% of you are interested in that. Really interesting. It was more than I thought. And now 40% of you are interested in online telehealth. This is where you have the opportunity we would do an online consultation, an online consult where you get to talk to myself. I'm a pelvic floor physio, and we can go through any of your concerns, whether or not it's aches and pains, pelvic floor, recovery, getting back into running, pregnancy wellness. And the interesting thing is here, I have been offering this for the last couple of years, but it made me realise 40% of you want this, but I haven't perhaps been sharing with you all the information of how to do this, how to book an online telehealth, because I know how important that face-to-face appointment is. And I know this personally, sometimes during pregnancy and postpartum, it's hard to get out the house. It's hard to take your toddler. It's hard to go and seek that support face-to-face. So to be able to have that option of an online telehealth appointment that you can do in the comfort of your home, I think it's amazing. So 40% of you are interested in, and it made me realise, I do apologise, but I haven't shared how I can help you in this area. So I'll put the link below too. If you are interested in this, you can book a time. Now, 25% of you roughly are all interested in Pilates classes, retreats for pregnancy or general wellness. So 25% of all survey respondents. Okay, now the other thing I did want to also share, I said, how else can I best help support you during your pregnancy and motherhood journey? And this made me feel, again, I feel that I've let you down here, ladies. I do apologise. So a lot of you would say, I'd like help to recover after giving birth. I'm reading this out as I talk to you. I've had mild back pain and I'm not sure how to exercise with back pain. I would like to recovery from body aches and improve my fitness level from last baby. I'd like weight loss and a flatter stomach with about 5 exclamation marks. Knowing which pregnancy exercises are best suited to each stage of pregnancy. Strengthening of the shoulder and wrist for carrying my baby. So what I'm trying to say here is a lot of women are wanting this information, and this is actually what I cover inside Fitness Mama. All this. Fitness Mama isn't just workouts. It's all these resources to help you feel better during pregnancy, to help you feel less achy. It's to help you, here this one is, give me any tips you can on a tear-free labour. Like, this is what Fitness Mama is. This is what my free pregnancy workshop is. And the fact that you're asking for this information and I'm already providing it made me realize perhaps I haven't been sharing this with you well enough. So as a result, ladies, you're going to see some changes. So firstly, if you'd like to come and trial for 7 days to see what Fitness Mama is all about, there's a link below. But also I'm going to be creating some more resources for you listening today. First of all, I'm going to start with my members to make sure my members understand how they can access all this inside Fitness Mama. Like, it's all there on the app, but I want to make sure my members are able to easily pull this information when they need it, if and when they need it. Secondly, you'll start to notice some more changes on my website so that everyone who's on my mailing list and all of you listening today know how to, again, I'm reading here, have some tips for after birth and pelvic floor exercises, need exercise for pregnant beginners, working towards getting back to the gym and lifting. Like, I've got hundreds of responses here and about 80% of them is exactly what I already offer. So, which is exciting. It shows me that Fitness Mama is exactly what you need. We might put some in-person retreats, in-person events, in-person Pilates classes into the mix. But ultimately, Fitness Mama is exactly what you want and need. But my job now is to help make it more easily accessible for those who are a member. And for those who aren't a member, help you understand that this information is there and available. So whether or not it's in a podcast or a YouTube video or on my website as a blog, I want to help you, whether or not you're a member or whether or not you're not. So thank you so much for completing this survey. It's given me so much to do, which will really help support you over the coming 6 months. So I thank you again. If you do want to complete the survey and you haven't, click the link below. It'll only take a minute or two. So in conclusion, ladies, stay tuned because I'm going to get some brilliant guest speakers onto this podcast. There's going to be some videos that you can download, PDFs. Like, there's going to be, my website is going to be a really amazing place of resource for you so that you can access the information you need or when you need it and how you need it. So that's it, ladies. Again, not my normal episode. I've got some brilliant episodes lined up in the coming week. Stay tuned. Thank you again for, tuning in and being with me on this amazing journey. It's always so exciting to hear about how you are going during pregnancy and how your birth was and how your recovery is. So thank you for all who have sent me a DM over the last few months, who've sent me an email. It's really lovely to hear from you. That's it, ladies. Have a great day. Have a great week, and we will see you next week for another episode of the Fitness Mama podcast. Thanks for listening to the Fitness Mama podcast, brought to you by the Fitness Mama freebies found at www.fitnessmama.com/free. So please take a few seconds to leave a review, subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and be sure to take a screenshot of this podcast, upload it to your social media, and tag me at Fitness Mama so I can give you a shout out too. Until next time, remember, an active pregnancy, confident childbirth, and strong postnatal recovery is something that you deserve. Remember our disclaimer, materials and contents in this podcast are intended as general information only and shouldn't substitute any medical advice, diagnosis or treatment. I'll see you soon.